Happy Sunday morning, my friends. I cannot believe this happened yesterday. I found out later in the evening, and Marie said, "This is a nice surprise. I like our little early morning chats." Or, as some other channels accuse us of, secret meetings. Well, this is a secret meeting anyone can be at. Good morning, Insanity Mom, Tar Heel Maiden, Susie Sue, Deborah Wallace. How are you, girlfriend? Are you liking the new badges? Ginger Snap, Angie Gibson. Speaking of badges, we have a very important members live coming up this week. You don't want to miss it. There's Hippie Grandma. Glad you're here. Look at Katie Bird. Katie Bird and I have our own secret meeting every morning. We have coffee together, don't we? We're all mad here said, I like this on Sunday morning. Me too. Tell you what, I was so busy yesterday. Now, I did mow the backyard, but watching Greg do all that work in the yard, I almost had to take 3 showers for him. He had to retill the garden. He was putting in plants. I did stand there and drink a beer and watch him. Oh, I did. I held the shovel for him, and I told him, I said, I've got a better back and shoulder than you. You know, we're not getting any younger. We had that discussion yesterday. We're over the hill, if you know what I mean. And so I would dig the holes as Greg did everything else. But it was wonderful. We had a great day. Great day. So how was your Saturday? I know 4 people whose Saturday sucked. And for good reason. It's because of what they did. Good morning, Nene. Good morning, Nene Nut. These 4 scumbags. Well, hang on. Just a minute. I think I have a show ready. I don't. There they are in all their glory. Now, woo! At the top left of your screen, that is the one and only Tiffany Adams. Ma Barker is what I call her. She reminds me so much of the grandma in the Bardstown killings and Pikeston. In Ohio, it was horrible. She is the mastermind. Next to her, that is not the Unabomber. That is her boyfriend, Tad Cullen. Below, so it'd be your bottom left corner, that is Cora Thrombly. And the guy smirking next to her is her boo thing, her husband, Cole. What a crew. Tiffany said, why the bish gotta have my name? Well, she does no longer. Her name on here is Ma Barker. Ma Barker. They have not found Veronica and Jillian. But I have a feeling out of these 4, someone is going to cave. Someone's going to cave. Because this was a total ambush. Now 6 children are without their mothers. Veronica Butler had 2 children, which was the big issue. Because you see, old Ma Barker has had custody of Veronica and her son Wrangler's 2 children for many years. About 10 days before Veronica's murder, it's no longer suspected, she filed documents that more than likely would have returned her children to her. Jillian Kelly, the minister's wife, was just along for the ride. They were on the way to pick up the two children. Veronica was going to spend the day with them and then return them. Wendy Mae Rain said, does anybody know how old the children are? Jillian's children appear to be in their teenage years. Veronica's children are under 10. Let me put it that way. So let's get to it. This is insane. There is Ma Barker and Tad in better times before he let that beard go. This is Cole and Cora in better times. Fun fact about Cole. Cole is also a local rancher, and according to the different community pages you see for communities, like I have one for my neighborhood, I'm sure you have them for your neighborhoods. Cole is the local butcher, and I don't mean at the grocery store. He's the dude you bring if you need a deer processed, or you want to split a calf, or you need a pig slaughtered, or something like that. Very interesting that he knows how to do that and knows how to do it well. The rumor is that Grandma actually confessed. Now, I will say this about Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation. They are not known for their interrogation practices would make you blush, okay? I remember the Tara Strozier case, and they kept all those boys separated, which they should, and they sat there for a good 8 hours before they even talked to them. Now, as far as being fed to the pigs or anything like that, that I do not know. I do know that all 4 of them are charged with 2 counts of murder, 2 counts of kidnapping, conspiracy, and a few other things. The probable cause affidavit is not out yet. So I'm going to be looking for that as soon as the courthouse opens tomorrow. 8 a.m., I'm going to be looking for it. Ginger Snap said, what was their motive for doing this? Tiffany's motive was her grandkids. Tad is going to go along with anything Tiffany brings up. That's Ma Barker. As far as Cole and Cora, I don't know why they would care. I don't know why they would risk not just life in prison, but the death penalty. Because Oklahoma is a big death penalty state. And that's the truth. Tana Jewel, thank you for becoming a new YouTube member. You're going to love it around here. We have a lot of fun on our member shows, and check out the community tab. You see things that I post only for members. What you doing, honey?
I'm going to go wash the truck. I'll be back in a minute.
You're going to go wash your truck?
Mm-hmm.
The sun's not even up yet, but thank you.
Yeah, I'll be back with a dad joke.
Okay, come back with a dad joke. All right, let's get to it, my friends. Hell, they sent the SWAT team out for him yesterday.
Breaking update just in from state agents. 4 people taken into custody amid an urgent search for 2 women missing in the Oklahoma Panhandle. 2 weeks ago today, the Texas County Sheriff's Office reported the suspicious disappearances of 27-year-old Veronica Butler and 39-year-old Jillian Kelly. The pair were traveling together to pick up their children.
I have to correct the news anchor. They weren't on the way to pick up their children, okay? They were on the way to pick up Veronica's children, and they were ambushed. Now, if you have a pen and paper, you might want to write this one down, because it has been reported that supposedly Grandma confessed. Okay, Ma Barker supposedly confessed, but then lawyered up. they'll probably throw that confession out. But Cole and Cora, that's them. Their daughter, their teenage daughter, was babysitting Veronica's children. This, my friends, is a huge red flag. She also spoke about a meeting that the four of them were having together. Well, I call that dead to nuts. The reason it is such a huge red flag is because there would be no reason for her to babysit Veronica's two children if Ma Barker was supposed to be taking the children to see their mother. Why would you arrange for a babysitter when you're supposed to put them in the vehicle and go meet Veronica? But instead, it was a total ambush. I have heard Veronica's phone was found in the floor. I have heard there was blood around the car. It didn't take them too long to come up on this car and realize what we had was a true life, like Wendy Mae Rain said, a real life horror movie, a true life ambush. Bloody Hammer. And Ma Barker can claim whatever she wants. Oklahoma is a death penalty state.
But never made it. Then their car was found abandoned in a rural area with evidence of foul play.
The evidence that was in the vehicle, was around the vehicle, the condition of the vehicle, all of that is still under investigation at this time. Not a lot of buildings, not a lot of homes, no cameras. It's made it extremely challenging, but that's why we stress again that if you know something, please say something and please reach out to us.
You know, and the spokesman for the OSBI couldn't have made it any more plainer than day. He said, this is a very hard case because you're not going to have cell phone signals. You're not going to have cameras. You're not going to have any of those things. Then you have dumb Jennifer Coffindaffer saying, I bet they're waiting on the digitals. There is no digitals. They had to rely on gumshoe detective work. Door to door, talking to people more than once, not just say, we already talked to them, more than once. Because we've seen in other cases, if it raises our eyebrows, it certainly raises law enforcement's. They already know what they've been told. So let's say you talk to Ma Barker and she says she has the kids in the car. This is totally speculation. And that she was on the way to meet him and they never showed up, so she went back home. Then they find out later that Ma Barker arranged for a babysitter. She arranged for that babysitter because she was taking some duties from the devil that day. She was off to kill Veronica and whoever's with her. And they did.
OSBI confirming to us tonight that 4 people have been taken into custody in connection to this, but they have not yet released those identities. We know the suspects were arrested in Cimarron and Texas counties. The women are still missing.
Okay. And they came rolling in there with a vengeance. So, of course, we talked about 6 children have lost their mother. There's actually more than that. Because Cora and Cole are going to jail. They're in jail. They're probably going to get the death penalty. Cole for damn sure because he's a man. They have children at home. So you have more children that don't have their parents. Wrangler, he's as good as tits on a bull right now because he's in rehab. He's got to be there for, I think, 5 more months. 4 or 5 more months. What are you going to do? Where does his 2 kids go? This is horrible.
Tonight.
All right, let's look at what the scene looked like yesterday. This is going to be a shorter live because I'm going to have to go and supervise my husband outside. The sun's coming up and he just got a lot of energy lately.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us on Craig Andrews. We're bringing you breaking news tonight about the 2 women from Kansas that went missing while driving in Oklahoma. KSN's Julia Thatcher has been following this story. Joins us now with what we know. Julia.
Yeah, 4 people are in custody in connection to Veronica Butler and Jillian Kelly's disappearance, according to the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation. 3.
Look at this shit. Man, they rolled in there. Wow. They tore it up. They didn't just show up in like a local cop car and say, all right, you know what we're here for. Come with us. You have the right to remain silent, all this stuff. Deborah Wallace said, how are they all related to the victims? Let's go through it again. Here's the mugshots, because this is important. At the top left-hand corner, this is the children's grandmother. Veronica Butler is the children they had been fighting over. Veronica is their mother. This is the baby daddy's mama. She has had custody of the children for several years. And the court documents regarding this fight over custody, I mean, one of them is like 27 pages long, and that's just one of them. So Wrangler went to rehab, who is the children's father, and Veronica filed some paperwork that probably would have been pushed through and she would have had her children back. Next to the beautiful woman in red, and I don't know what that is on her shirt, praying for, well, we're praying for justice. I don't know what the hell she's praying for. Next to her, that woolly mammoth, that's her boyfriend, Tad. Then under them are friends of theirs, the Thwombleys. Sounds like I lisp when I say it. That's Cora and Cole. How Cora and Cole got roped into a murder, I'll never know. Cassie, what state was this in, please? Oklahoma. Look at them rolling in.
To Veronica Butler and Jillian Kelly's disappearance, according to the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation. 3 arrests happened in Cimarron County, 1 in Texas County. I asked OSBI if the people arrested have familial ties to Veronica or Jillian, and if they could tell me how many men or women are in custody. They say that that information is not yet released. However, jail records show the grandmother of Veronica's children was booked this afternoon. Specific details on those charges are not listed. Investigators also tell me they are continuing to search a large area in Texas County for Veronica and Jillian. Today marks 2 weeks since those mothers went missing.
2 weeks. And I believe someone that got arrested yesterday said a little bit more, or they did more detective work. I don't know, because they have a whole new search going on today in Texas County, Oklahoma. Not Texas, the state. It's a county in the Panhandle. And I'm not saying that I don't feel bad for Veronica, but I feel horrible. I feel horrible for Veronica, but I feel extra horrible for Jillian because she's just trying to do a favor as a friend. She's given her a ride down there to get her 2 kids, to bring them up, to spend Easter. I understand there was also a birthday over the weekend. And then she was going to take them back down. They're going down the highway and they are ambushed. Ambushed. And people say that could never happen. There's too many cars around. There's too many cameras. No. That's why I always say in these cases, I need to talk to the locals. I need to know about the area. I need to know because the location is a big part of it. Let me show you what we're dealing with here.
Area. It's very dark, it's very desolate, and suddenly you found yourself followed. Did I get any of that wrong? And take me from there.
So we started off our day in Oklahoma City where we went to the OSBI, and we've been making our way slowly to the area where the women's SUV was found. And we know that they were supposed to meet up at this abandoned gas station, the Four Corners, which we went to, and we checked that out. And then we took this right on Highway.
Okay, this is important. They were supposed to meet at that abandoned gas station it's called the Four Corners. And I'll explain that in a minute. It's basically where, well, 4 roads meet. Where 4 roads meet. Hang on. Fid said there was a YouTube channel that was boots on the ground and she got so much info. They go over a lot of stuff from locals that is true and a lot that is false. So are the locals saying stuff like to keep people away or what? You know what? And God bless this person because ain't no way Brooksy here is going to the damn Panhandle. Fuck that noise. Sorry, it's Sunday. I shouldn't say that. Like when the Henrietta case was going on or the Okmulgee 4, people are like, are you going down there? Are you going down there? Ha! No. I don't like to hang around stuff like that. That's why I tell you guys, you're in good hands around here, but you're not getting any breaking news or anything.
Highway 95 to see if we could just quickly find the spot where the women's SUV was located, Road L and Highway 95. We turned off and we looked around and we really, we've been reporting on it and we knew as our team put a safety plan in place together for ourselves, saying, let's all watch each other's backs. Let's share our location with other people. We got to this location and I filmed it. You can see it right there. Road L is actually off of 95, a bit more than we expected it to be.
There's truly nothing out there. I'm not saying anything about the people that live in the Panhandle. I'm not saying anything about it. A lot of farmland, a lot of just blue-collared Americans, farms, working people. But you're going to drive a long way before you get a signal and you see, civilization. The last time I went through there, I was on the truck with my husband and we didn't have any cell phone signal. None. There's a lot of areas in the country. I know Jennifer Coffendaffer doesn't understand it, but there's a lot of areas of the country that don't have cell phone signals. They just don't. You go through a place and you see a bunch of Dish Network satellites, you're off the beaten trail. That's the truth. There's no Wi-Fi. Over the years, I've had people saying, I want to come out to Oklahoma and I want to buy some land and, live off the grid. And I said, hang on. You do understand living off the grid is exactly that because there's a lot of areas in Oklahoma. We're not talking about Wi-Fi. We're not talking about where we're going to watch the Super Bowl. Can you even get water? Can you get electricity? That's the difference. Fid said the locals were very supportive of the lady. They were actually scared to have voices heard. I have heard that. I think I saw her on the news. Ma Barker's boyfriend is a scary, crazy man. I have heard that too. If one person says it, I'm gonna be like, they could just be looking for some attention. But when multiple people say he's scary AF, I believe them.
Now, exactly where the car was is between that area and where this cross was found. We found this white cross with yellow ribbon. The women's names are on that cross. Who placed it there, we don't know. But our plan was to show this to you, to film it and get out of there. And when we went to turn around to go back down this long dirt path, Road L, this big black truck with tinted windows pulled up and seemingly looked like it was going to start to block us. And our plan all along was, if we see somebody coming down the road, let's all get in the car and get out of here, which is exactly what we did, driving back towards the gas station and getting back over here to a well-lit area so we could report to you tonight. But the point was to show you where the SUV was found. There has been no information about what has happened to these women. We have been pressing the OSBI for days now, for over a week. We don't have any answers. We know that nobody's talking. And Ashley, you and I have been doing these missing person cases for a really long time. And whenever I arrive to a scene like this, I usually see a grid search. I see canine units. We see a command post. We see the types of things that we're used to, but there is nothing. There is no sign of a search going on right now where we are in Oklahoma.
So this is why
Now, I understand News Nation has been really, really saying a lot of really shitty things about OSBI and how they conducted this investigation. Well, they have 4 people in custody. They have a probable cause for first-degree murder for all 4 of them, 2 counts. 1 for Veronica, 1 for Jillian. They have kidnapping, which tells me they got him out of the car alive and took him somewhere else and killed him. That's just my untrained brain. And also, conspiracy. I think the conspiracy charge comes from a very, very brave teenage girl that told what she knew. And that is Cole and Cora's daughter, who was babysitting the 2 children that Ma Barker was supposed to be bringing to their mother for her visitation. That's where I think the conspiracy charge comes from. But we won't know until the arrest affidavits and everything come out. And I really hope they don't slip us a Mickey. And say they're sealed. Good morning, Stacy.
I was distressed. And can I just ask our control room to roll that video that they were just showing as Laura was showing us that location that now all of a sudden that the cross has shown up in that spot where the women disappeared. Laura, there was a truck on the left-hand side of the screen. Is that the black truck that you were referring to, or was it another black truck?
No. It was another black truck. What you see there on the screen is we have vehicles that belong to us, and it was further down the road. So it was right where the highway and the road met, and this truck kind of pulled in. Now, were we near somebody's private property? We might have been. I'm from California, and so a lot of these roads lead to, vineyards. But we have described, and we took some drone video today as well. But yeah, you can see that cross. It has their name.
Yeah, there's no vineyards out there, wine lady. So like, I'm from California. You see roads like this, they go to vineyards. No, these go to silos and pig farms. Farms. That's the reason you have to know the local geography. You can't compare it to what you know.
Is we have vehicles that belong to us, and it was further down the road. So it was right where the highway and the road met, and this truck kind of pulled in. Now, were we near somebody's private property? We might have been. I'm from California, and so a lot of these roads lead to, vineyards. But we have described, and we took some drone video today as well. But yeah, you can see that cross. It has their names on it. Who placed it there? It looks like this is the spot where the SUV was found. The drone footage that we took earlier, we specifically did to show everybody just how rural this area is. You've been hearing us talk about it. You've been hearing Brooke Schaefer mention it as well. But we wanted to get up and out and show you that as far as the eye can see, there's a lot of terrain to get to. It's a lot of farmland. There are some pig farms that are nearby, which are easy to spot and smell as you're driving down the road. But as far as the location, the gas station that's right behind me does have a flyer from the OSBI with the women's faces on it, Veronica and Jillian. We walked in and we talked to the gas station attendant, a young lady, and we asked her how she was working there alone. We said, "How are you feeling? What are you doing?" And she said, "Well, I'm nervous. We just don't know what's going on. I'm checking in with my family and they're calling to ask me if I'm okay because I'm sitting here at this cash register alone," and you can't blame her.
There was a picture that your drone video caught just a bit ago, and it looked like maybe that was one of the industrial pig farms that you were talking about. Is that one of those facilities? Because I have to be honest with you, in the absence of any information from authorities, there's all sorts of crazy rumors about pig farms and how they might be involved in all of this. I mean, the rumor mill is on overdrive.
It is. And that is right down the road. In fact, that industrial pig farm is between the location where the SUV was found and the gas station where the women were supposed to have that supervised meetup to have Veronica's children handed off. And I also want to mention something that's really important here. 10 days before Veronica Butler and her friend went missing, there was a court filing. I printed it out. I read it on the plane right here. It is filed on March 20th, 10 days before. This was a bitter custody battle.
Facts. This is so true. This is so true. 10 days before, and it was a very bitter custody battle. Ma Barker could have made things better and not worse. And now look, 2 people are dead, murdered. That's according to what the OSBI is charging them with. You got 4 people in jail. They will be convicted. They will be tried. They will probably get the death penalty. I guarantee Ma Barker's boyfriend's going to get the death penalty. By the way, before I get to it, we have some new names in here. Where's my manners? Let's welcome everybody and say happy Sunday morning and stick around. We're glad you're here.
Tasty.
Ooh,
I brought one for myself too. That's why it's greasy.
yummy. Thanks, Greg. My husband just walked in with breakfast pizza. Jen said, and if the judge was told bodies will fall, the judge should be removed from the bench. I agree, and I have gone through everything that is public I can get a hold of, and I don't see that was said. But if it was, yeah, he needs to go. Good morning, Kat.
Was it involved in this? We don't know. And I also want to mention that I've been talking to a private investigator not involved in this case, but knows the area well. And she said that there's a lot of human trafficking that goes on here. There's a lot of, because it is so rural, there are other things that happen. So while people are focusing on family matters and the bitter custody battle that was going on, there are other items to consider. Of course, the trucking industry, that we've got truckers up and down. You know, we just don't know. The OSBI is not telling us what's going on. We thought we might get an update from them today. They told me over the weekend, if there's not an update over the weekend, we'll talk to you on Monday. Well, here it is. And we don't have an update from them, not an official one, other than them telling us that they're really busy.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television.
Okay. You know, some law enforcement, I get it. when they just don't have any update at all. I think about in Hawkins County with Summer Wells. Look, we're coming up on 3 years and you seriously have no update for the public. Is the public safe in that area? This is 2 weeks. So when they say we're busy, we don't have an update for you, then respect it. Kat, thank you for the super sticker. She said, I'm real impressed with the progress on this case. Me too. Now, a profiler spoke out, and I do like him a lot. I have not watched this yet, so I want to watch it with you guys. Uh-oh, the ugly Truckland said, throw a trucker out there, why don't you? You yuppie, go back to the vineyard. I'm offended. They always like to bring the truckers up. I'm telling you. That's so ridiculous. We have 4 people in custody, not suspected. They are in custody. They are charged with 2 counts of murder, 2 counts of kidnapping, and conspiracy. And there could be more. We haven't even seen the tampering with the body yet.
Thanks for tuning in. John Kelly, profiler here, and welcome. Welcome to today's show, which is pretty sad indeed. We've got 2 missing women up in Oklahoma. But what's more distressing and more upsetting is that they're not just 2 missing women in Oklahoma, they're 2 missing moms in Oklahoma. So how many victims are involved in this case? How many victims, how many children are going to be hurt here? If you like us today, please give us a like, shoot us over a like, and please subscribe. We always love your subscriptions if you like this kind of thing. We always love to have you on board as part of the family. You know, the other thing I want to bring up is our addictions. We're going to be putting a show, hopefully, together on addictions. We want to see if we have enough people that are interested. We feel we have a lot of interesting pieces to it. We're going over it constantly. So if you're interested in addictions, anything on addictions, there's so many out there, let us know. Pretty much our show is going to be more focused on substance abuse addiction, but also gambling addiction as well. Okay, gambling addiction is starting to consume the country. It's going to get a lot bigger, folks. A lot bigger. Believe me when I tell you. At this point in time, I want to send our deepest condolences out to the families and friends of the victims. Very sad, you know, what's taken place here, and you know, we've got a lot of victims here too, and young victims as well. When we think about these 2 women being moms and having children, those children are, I'm sure, wondering where their mothers are and looking for their mothers, you know. The other thing is, when we look at Veronica Butler and Jillian Kelly, those are the victims that were abducted. Like I said, there were other victims through the family. But with Veronica Butler and Jillian Kelly, they seem to be acquaintances. They seem to be acquaintances. That's how the press right now is portraying them, as acquaintances. And it seems like Jillian was riding shotgun or helping Veronica Butler.
This is important to know. They were basically acquaintances. They met through church. Veronica had to have supervision to be, you know, with her children. There's a lot to it. It's a very, very bitter custody battle. So the stories about these 2 being lesbians and she was going to leave the preacher and everything, none of that was going on.
Butler out in some way. Maybe she wasn't riding shotgun. Maybe she just driving and helping Veronica out with some home visitation. It seems one of Veronica's daughters was having a birthday. There's also some feedback out there, some talk out there about there being some domestic problems that have taken place, even a custody battle. So this is all kind of very interesting. We'd like some feedback from our audience, as you guys know we always do. We'd like to help you,
Look, I understand there's not enough police on the streets. I understand there's not enough social workers. I get all that. I would think somebody that is involved in these very, very, very bitter custody battles would make sure that the children get from A to B safely. Now, obviously, the children are safe. They had a babysitter, as Ma Barker, the boyfriend, Cole, and Cora were going off to do the ambush. I think about the case of Susan Powell. I think about the case of Josh Powell. The same case, by the way. The social worker shows up for the supervised visitation. The kids walk in, he slams the door, he locks the door, kills the kids, and explodes the house. You see, these custody battles are not to be taken lightly. These are not regular emotions. These aren't happy, sad, mad. These are bitter, hatred, rage. I'm going to get you. I'm going to get those kids. They're going to be with my son. They're going to be with me. You were never good enough for my son. I mean, all the feels are there. And there needs to be more protection. You don't just say, oh, okay, it's okay. Go ahead and meet at the abandoned gas station and we'll see you in court next month. It goes too bad, too quickly.
Join the mystery here, and this is a major mystery. See what happened to these two women, these two moms. We'd like some feedback from you, and tell us what your thoughts are, what you think what could be involved here, right? I mean, obviously, somebody abducted these two women. Was it a stranger abduction? Or was it somebody they knew? We'd like your feedback on that. Another big question is, why were they abducted? What was the prize or motive here? What was the prize of abducting these two women, or the motive? See?
Now, this profiler, who I do like, did this before we knew what happened yesterday. Now we're not talking about abduction of the two women anymore. It seems to me plain as day that the motive is the children. And murder is the charge.
This is important. Was it something sexual? We know a lot of women get abducted for sexual reasons. Okay, that's usually something that's been out there for quite a while. I mean, more so sexual than financial. But was it about money? Could it have been about money? But I don't think so, because you know why? There was no carjack. They didn't take the car. They didn't try to steal the car, so there was no carjack done. The car was left right there. So, I have a problem with the sexual piece here. I have a problem with the financial piece here. Could it have been for domestic reasons? Could it have been a domestic dispute? I don't know. I'm curious. I'd like to hear your feedback. You know, we know there was a custody battle going on. There's a custody battle going on. And, you know, so that's always interesting. We know lots of times they can get pretty violent. They can get pretty violent in some cases. Does it look like it was targeted and organized? For me, I'm leaning that way. It does look targeted and organized. Looks like a perfect ambush. You know, did someone know where they were coming from? This today, please.
I can't agree with him more. It is a perfect ambush. Imagine when they rolled up on Jillian and Veronica and they realize that the kids aren't with them. Imagine knowing what's been going on for all of these years, fighting over custody of the children. They roll up, which they didn't make it to the abandoned gas station. It's not like there's a shopping mall. That they can meet at. So they're going to meet at the abandoned gas station. Imagine when they roll up, which they didn't make it that far, and the children aren't there. I have a feeling Veronica knew instantly she was done for.
Like some feedback from you and tell us what your thoughts are, what you think what could be involved.
You want to skip
Pretty
that?
violent. They can get pretty violent in some cases. Does it look like it was targeted and organized? For me, I'm leaning that way. It does look targeted and organized. Looks like a perfect ambush. You know, did someone know where they were coming from and where they would be at that approximate time? You know, I wonder about that. And the reason I wonder about that is because, again, it seems to be the perfect place for an ambush. Very rural area. You can see the highway from both directions. There's even a problem, I understand, with cell phone reception. I understand up there, cell phones go in and out. It's really hard to get a cell phone connection. I mean, think about that. Out in the middle of nowhere, and your lifeline for help, you know, is pretty much disturbed, you know, if not even cut, and you can't use a cell phone. And who would know that? Who would know that it was set up like that out there, that cell phone reception was so hard to get? Usually people that are from that area, have something to do with that area, very familiar with that area. They've had it happen to them. Again, to me, I'm pretty curious about this ambush theory, you know? Next week, we're going to deep dive this. We have a PI on the case out in Oklahoma. I mean, you've seen Dustin on here before. He's going to be looking and deep diving into this. He's a private investigator, and he'll be taking a look at this. He's pretty familiar with that particular area out there and how rural it is. So I'm sure we're going to get a lot of good feedback from Dustin as well. So right now, the power's in the question. Right now, we're very curious on what happened to these two women, these two mothers. God, it just upsets me how it has to be affecting all their loved ones and really their children, you know, that are looking for their mommies, right? Their mothers. So, you know, more will be revealed hopefully next week. So stick with us, check in. We're going to be deep diving this right along till we come to.
Well, his deep dive is going to be much different now. Reason being is because 4 people have been arrested. They have been charged with 2 counts of murder. Yes, without a body, because they have not found Veronica. They have not found Jillian. People say that Jillian was the court appointed supervisor. I don't know how that works, considering we're dealing with two different states, and why she volunteered for that. She works for the church. It was rumored at one time that she works for Department of Human Services. That turned out to not be true. But it does make sense that she, being the giving person that she is, wants to help, that she would say, I'll volunteer, I'll sit with you today, and I will, fill out everything saying that, I supervised. Well, it didn't work out in anyone's favor, because this is horrible. You have two murdered women. The two children that, Veronica, Wrangler were fighting over now don't have either of their parents. Jillian has 4 children. Cole and Cora, their daughter without parents because they're in jail. People get divorced. They have to, co-parent, figure out, who's going to see the children when, where, all that stuff. But when it gets to the level that this custody case got to, I think it needs to be intervened a little more than what happened here. Because, they rolled up on them like the Lone Damn Ranger. And it's horrible. So tomorrow when the courts open, I doubt it's going to be right when they open, but sometime tomorrow, I'm assuming that the 4 probable cause affidavits are going to be put out. So raise your hand, put a 1 in the chat if you want to go over the probable cause affidavits with me. Because I'm all in. And I know there's rumors that they found Jillian but can't find Veronica. I read everything this morning. I haven't seen anything verify that they found Jillian. I think they had enough information to let the families know last week that we're dealing with murders here. We're not just dealing with they could be somewhere out there. So I don't have the information that they have found Jillian because I can't find any verification on that, so I'm not going to say. It's a horrible, horrible situation. And there's been a lot of, mud flung at Wrangler Rickman, who's in a rehab center. But his mom is a true psychopath. A true psychopath. And how she got other people into her web to commit something so heinous and so barbaric, I will never know. But I appreciate you guys all coming in so early in the morning. And as soon as I get those documents, you guys will be the first to know. Good morning, Katie Sear. So I hope you enjoyed the rest of your Sunday. I wasn't planning to keep you too long because I know people are off to church and all the above. It is Sunday. But just know that I'm happy that you're here. You guys are the best community and best chat on YouTube. And before we go, my husband has a dad joke. Are you ready, Gregory?
Good morning, everybody.
Hang on, I have to play your music.
Yes.
Are you ready for my husband's dad joke of the week?
I am.
Go ahead, baby.
I told my wife she should embrace her mistakes. She gave me a hug.
Gregory! Gregory! Again, you guys are the absolute best. Thank you for being here so early this morning and keeping up with this case and all the cases we talk about on this channel. I hope you have a spectacular Sunday, and I will see you back here tomorrow at 9 a.m. I'm going to put a poll up here in a little bit to see what you guys want to talk about because, well, I'm not the channel. You guys are. So, thank you for being the best chat and best community on these nasty YouTube streets.